Hello everyone, it is Marc Berman from TV Media Insights. It is Friday, February 8th, and I would like to welcome you back to our daily videocast. The snow has just started falling here. They said it would come later in the day, but it's already coming. So I have a feeling I will be exiting very early today. I'll work the rest of the day from home. Let's begin today with TV Media Insights in the New York Daily News. I received a call yesterday from Don Kaplan regarding a story he was writing on the upcoming proposed NCIS spinoff. I think this makes sense. I'm not surprised. Obviously, NCIS is a huge hit, and you may not know this. Here's an interesting fact that is in the story that I told Don. NCIS was spun off from JAG, which originally started on NBC. NBC canceled JAG after one season. CBS was smart enough to pick it up. It ran for another 8 seasons, and that led to NCIS. Had it not been for CBS picking up JAG, there would be no NCIS. So that's the background on the show, and NCIS is one of those shows that it keeps chugging along and chugging along. It's #1 most watched scripted series on television, yet it gets very little attention. So automatically, this upcoming spinoff from NCIS Los Angeles, which is a spinoff from a spinoff, is going to succeed. Okay? Now let's go to The Office. NBC has announced that the series will conclude after 9 seasons, or 8.5 seasons, on May 16th with a 1-hour episode. That will coincide with its 200th episode. And here's something interesting. I dug up some research yesterday. I put it on our Facebook page. There were about 32 series historically that aired more episodes than The Office, and I'm talking about scripted sitcoms. So technically, The Office, which is tied with Coach and That 70s Show at 200 episodes, is number 33 among the longest produced episodes for a TV sitcom in the history of television. That's some useless information that I thought might be helpful to you. Over at the CW, they're bringing back summer game show Oh Sit. It will open up its 2nd season on Monday, April 8th at 8 o'clock in place of The Carrie Diaries, which unfortunately only had a limited run. And don't be fooled, Oh Sit did not have much of an audience last summer, but the CW needs programming, so they're bringing it back for a 2nd season. If you are a fan of Survivor, and I certainly am, the upcoming season is set in Karaman, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, and it is fans versus favorites. It was supposed to open up with a 2-hour episode next Wednesday. The network has trimmed it down to 90 minutes. They will air a repeat of The Big Bang Theory following it at 9:30. I have an update for you on some Jimmy Kimmel live ratings. Jimmy Kimmel, of course, moved up 1/2 hour to 11:35 p.m. on ABC. And, you know, I get information from all 3 of the big networks, ABC, CBS, and NBC, all boasting about how well late night is doing. So, you know, I have to kind of cherry pick who I'm going to talk about. And this week, it is Jimmy Kimmel. Over at FX, the cable network's new scripted drama, The Americans, dipped in its 2nd episode this week by 39% in total viewers. That's very significant. It went from 3.2 million to 2 million, and it dropped by 32% among adults 18 to 49. Keep in mind that most new series drop in the vicinity of 10 to 20% in the 2nd week. And listen, I have to give FX credit. You know, 9 out of 10 networks, cable or broadcast, they're not going to send out something saying that their show dropped in the 2nd week. But the FX, is honest. I appreciate it. And I do hope that the show levels off, because I do think it is a good series that deserves to have an audience. Coming up on the air tonight is the debut of a new Mark Burnett, Michael Davies reality competition called The Job, which will feature contestants vying for the perfect job. Lisa Ling will host. I am not necessarily so sure that people want to watch people competing to get a job on Friday evening after a long work week. Would you want to watch it? And it steps in for Undercover Boss, which is on a temporary hiatus. Rock Center with Brian Williams moves to the 10 o'clock hour tonight on NBC, and Touch returns on Fox with a 2-hour 2nd season premiere. I would not hold much stock in Touch. I don't think anyone's going to watch. And then on Sunday is the 55th Annual Grammy Awards telecast. Our games master, Douglas Pucci, has his Pick'em game, which I will have a link on today's newsletter for. And finally, today in TV history, I must make mention of the debut of Norman Lear's sitcom Good Times in 1974. I love talking about Good Times because it made no sense. Florida Evans, played by Esther Roll, was Maude's housekeeper in Tuckahoe, New York. Suddenly, she's living on the south side of Chicago with her husband, who was called Henry on Good Times. Now he's called James. And here's something interesting that you may not know. When Good Times debuted, Florida, Esther Roll in real life was 54 years old. Her TV hubby, John Amos, was 35. Willona, played by Janae Dubois, who went to school with Florida. In real life, Janae was 29, and their TV son, Jimmy Walker, was 27. The whole thing did not add up. Also on this day, daytime serial, The Secret Storm on CBS, concluded after 20 years, and The Dukes of Hazzard on CBS concluded in 1985. The Secret Storm, by the way, concluded in 1974. That is our daily video cast from TV Media Insights. If you're on the East Coast, I hope you fare well in this storm. I am Marc Berman. I hope you have a great weekend. And I will be back with more news about my favorite medium, television, on Monday.